Hello friends, welcome to How Did I Get Here, a series where I talk about the last 5 years of my life being homeless. So today, let's talk about Georgia. So I came into Georgia, came in through Savannah, and I had a lot of options here on places to go. But the first thing I wanted to do was kind of take a break from just walking to my destination, which was, getting south and then going west. And I walked east into Tybee Island. Now, Tybee Island, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I might not be. Tybee Island is not a place you are meant to walk to. You are not supposed to walk there. I remember there is a roadway, despite it being called an island, there's a roadway that goes there, but there's no shoulder on that roadway, and off to both the sides is either water or swamp. So I had to carefully walk on the side, make sure I wasn't getting ran over by any cars. And I got to Tybee Island. I forget, it's the Walmart on the island. I don't think Walmart is on the island. There's a Walmart towards the island that I camped out at. Anyway, I made it to the beach, and I kind of just hung out at the beach for a day. I actually filmed a vlog that I never released because of the wind. It was so windy there that whenever I filmed it, the audio quality was just horrible. And I hung out there. I actually met a couple other travelers there, which was really cool. They traveled by car, but they also traveled across. And yeah, I hung out on the beach all day long. It was a relaxing day. So I backtracked, slept back at the Walmart, off in the bushes, and got back into Savannah, Georgia. And then I made 2 mistakes in Savannah, Georgia. I'm hoping I don't get in trouble for one of them for talking about it here on camera. So the first mistake, which wasn't a major one, I was looking at how I could get out of the city, and I was walking a roadway, and I got onto a highway, and immediately see this highway says no pedestrians. I think it was like Veterans Highway or something like that. And I don't feel like getting picked up by police or anything, getting in any trouble. So I turned around, and I started walking the railroad tracks. And I'm looking on Google Maps on Street View, and I noticed that there's a bridge, railroad tracks goes into a bridge, and I'm thinking, I really don't want to walk across a rail bridge because, the train is coming towards me while I'm in the middle of that bridge. That could be a disaster. So I'm looking at Google Maps, and I notice there's a trail that goes off of the railroad tracks, connects onto another road, and that road takes a bridge across the water. So I take that trail, and I start walking, and I notice some cars that are crushed. I'm like, this is weird, but okay. And I keep walking on the trail, and it turns out I'm on a military base, and I was on like a live firing range. I come out of the trail onto a road, perimeter road. I don't think I was technically on the military base, but I come out onto a road, and a police officer passes by me, and he stops. And I'm sitting there. I'm like, I'm just gonna turn around. If he stops me, I'm gonna cooperate. But I'm just gonna turn around and get back on the railroad tracks. And so, yeah, I turned around and got back on the railroad tracks. But yeah, I ended up walking onto like a firing range for the U.S. military, and possibly trespassing on a military base. I'm not sure about that last one. And so, I'm on the railroad tracks. And of course, I could have backtracked off the railroad tracks and made a giant loop, gotten out of the city that way. But I was like, you know what? We're just going to walk the tracks and see what it's like. So I'm walking the tracks. I'm coming up to the bridge. Train's coming my direction, oncoming train. No problem. There's plenty of space on either side. But I'm happy that that's happening, because if a train's coming now, it means there's less likely a chance of a train coming, while I'm on the bridge. So, I get off the tracks and I'm out in the woods. Train passes, no problem. Get to the bridge. Luckily, there is a walkway on the side of the rail bridge. So even if a train does come towards me, as long as the wind doesn't, catch me and knock me off, I'm good. And the bridge was pretty far away, the footpath was, about 5 to 10 feet away, so there wasn't really any danger of that. Walked across the bridge, no trains came at me in either direction. Awesome. And I don't remember the next town. I love the next town, but the name of it is escaping me. I get into the next town. Oh, something else that happened, I forgot. While I was walking the railroad tracks, my backpack broke. Yeah, the backpack I had just gotten to South Carolina. The which one was it? It was the chest harness. That buckle broke, which what isn't the biggest, problem in the world, right? It wasn't like, the shoulder strap broke. But for anybody who's hiked, having that little chest strap when you got, 30 to 40 pounds of gear on your back, oh, that makes things so much comfortable. So anyway, I get into the next town and I find a food line. I sit down. There's a bench right next to the food line. I sit down that bench. I plug my phone in because there's an outlet on the outside. Charging my phone up. I remember this woman. She walked up to me, and it was probably 40 degrees out. It was. I'm in Georgia at this point, right? It doesn't get freezing in Georgia. And this woman walks up to me like, "Are you okay? It's freezing cold out here." And I'm like, "Oh no, this isn't too bad. I came from up north. I'm used to this." She's like, "Are you sure? I've got a portable heater I will put out here and plug in for you." I was like, "No, that's fine, but I really appreciate it. Thank you very much." That was cool. I love that. I ended up staying in that town for like 2 days. I made a little bit of money. I was working with a guy doing like some like light landscaping work. I was weed whacking. Like that's all I did. He did like mowing and some other stuff, but he just handed me the weed whacker. Said, get all this. And I was there for about 2 days, I believe, and I think I made like $200, which was awesome because I put that money on my chime card and I ordered a new backpack. And I decided to go with something completely different. I ordered like this military style frameless backpack because, I was looking at it, it's like, it's lighter. It's supposed to contour to your body. It'll probably make things a lot easier. I've never used a frameless backpack in my life. And I had it to pick up at Waycross, Georgia. So I start walking southwest to Waycross. I ordered a tarp and poncho thing that I ordered along with the backpack. Basically, it's a poncho, but it could kind of fold out to be a tarp. And I thought, that's two great uses in one. And so I get to Waycross. My order's there. I picked it up at like some pharmacy store because Amazon, you can have it like delivered to special stores like pharmacy stores and stuff, and you can just pick it up there. And I got the backpack and I got the poncho. I'm happy. This is awesome. And I got it just in time because it's starting to rain. Waycross. Oh, Waycross, 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 Waycross. You killed me. It rained in Waycross, and I'm not exaggerating on this, 2 straight weeks. And I'm not talking like, it would rain for a few hours. No, just 2 straight weeks. Constant rain. Every now and then you get an hour or two of, just drizzle or cloudy skies. So I found a place to set up camp. Got to use my brand new tarp, my poncho tarp. I got to use that. I set that up into a nice little tent shape. I couldn't use my hammock because the place I was sleeping at, the trees were very brittle, so to speak. Had I attached my hammock to the tree, I would have had a repeat of what happened to me in West Virginia where a tree fell on me. For those of you who have not heard that story, I left that out of my very first video, but I made it into a short, so check that out. So I just set up my tarp, and I had some experiences in Waycross. First major experience, it was pouring down rain. I was just hanging out under a gas station. It was like one of those like Walmart or Kroger self-serve gas stations where they just have a Murphy's. I think it was a Murphy's gas station where there isn't like an actual storefront. It's just kind of like this little booth you can pay. But there's gas stations. They have that big awning overhang, and I'm just hanging under that overhang in that gas station, just chilling. Employee here, luckily. And dude, this guy, he drives up next to me. He starts talking to me, and we're talking like where are you from and everything. And I tell him I'm from Cumberland, Maryland. He's like, oh really? My brother lives close to there. He lives in Ridgely. I was like, oh well, I actually am from Ridgely. Tell people I'm from Cumberland because it's a bigger city. Oh, nice. Yeah, and he says to me, he's like, yeah, my brother, he had a kid who got hit by a train. And I immediately said, you're talking about Austin. He's like, oh, you knew Austin? I was like, I played baseball with Austin. Your brother was my baseball coach. It was like a mind-blowing small world moment where, I used to play baseball with this kid, and his coach was my dad, and now I'm 1,000 miles away, and of all the people to stop, it just happened to be his brother. Like, yeah, that was crazy. Yeah, we're talking for a little bit. Eventually, he leaves. He gave me a few bucks. Awesome dude. I met up with another dude. Goes by Alaska. He rides the rails. We kind of hung out for a little while, and over the next 2 days, we just kind of hung out, just chilled, talked, that kind of thing. Waited out the rain. Finally, it stopped raining in Waycross. No, there was one more thing that happened. So for the 2 weeks, the place I was staying at, I didn't have any problems with, but it was on like the very last. The rain couldn't have just stopped a day shorter. The place I was sleeping at was basically but for 2 weeks it had rained, and there's mud puddles here and there, but it wasn't too bad. On the last night, probably around, it was middle of the night, 2 a.m. say, I wake up and water is completely covering me. I'm just thinking to myself, like, a week and a half, almost 2 weeks, didn't have to deal with this, and it's on last night I'm supposed to be here, like, I'm getting covered in water. And I just accepted it. Like, I didn't try to, pack up and find another place. I was just like, you know what? It's not that cold. Waycross, Georgia is like central Georgia. It's January, but it's not that cold. And I basically just laid in water for the next few hours. Finally, sun came out. First time I'd seen the sun in 2 weeks. So happy. And I take off down the road. I'm heading southwest towards Valdosta. Finally, I get into Valdosta. I meet up with my girlfriend. We've been talking on the internet for a few months. And we get a motel for like a week or something like that. Hang out with her, chill. I found a little bit of work in Georgia, down there in Valdosta. I helped a woman move apartments. It was very weird. She was moving from one apartment to another that was like next door, which I thought was a little weird, but she paid me $300. And finally, I left Valdosta, Georgia. Made it to Tallahassee. And I'm going to end the video there because I just looked and I noticed it's running 16 minutes pre-edit. And quite a few things happened in Florida, and I don't want the video to be extremely long. So we're going to leave it there. Tomorrow's video will be about Florida. And because quite a lot of things happened in Florida, including I got caught in a hurricane. I got caught in a genuine tornado, which scared the heck out of me. And just some other things. So yeah, that was today's video. I hope you enjoyed. Stay tuned for the next video. Subscribe, like, all that. If you ever want to support me, links are in the description. Peace out, everybody.